Welcome, Rotarians and guests. This is our, boy, I felt like I'm teaching art school again. Everyone's so excited to be back in the room, like it's back to school week. Find your seats. Welcome to the 5,448th meeting of the Rotary year. I want to thank the Red Badge Committee for your fantastic greeting line. How about that Red Badge? Nicely done. Record numbers out there. Welcome, welcome. And we all will start to know your names. Thank you for being here. And also a huge thank you to the Fun and Friendship Committee who was pouring wine today, courtesy of Bert George. Thank you. If you don't know, Bert has worked with me to do one wine reception per month, and this is our month for this month, and I think it's extra special because we're celebrating our district governor's visit today, so a little bit of wine pairing for our district governor. Alrighty, and we've got our guest introductions. Let me just speed through my slides here. I've got some Red Badgers with traveling mics. I think we have Shannon Corpus and Roxana Kahn back, is that right? No, I think we have Shiloh Ballard taking the role of, and then who else do we have? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shannon Corpus, financial advisor for King Wealth Planning, and my lovely sponsor is Dagmar Schildwalk.
Fantastic, welcome.
Hi, I'm Roxana Kahn, and I'm with Bill Wilson Center, and my sponsor is Matt Bill.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, visiting guests with and Rotarians, our guests, Rotarians with guests, can you please stand so we can get you all introduced? All right, I see Fernando right up front up here. I see quite a few.
Thank you, President Heather. My guest today, our guest, Daniel and I are co-sponsoring Chris Areola, who is retiring from the Santa Clara County Deputy Attorney's position, District Attorney, District, my son corrected me right away.
That's why I'm here. We all need a fact checker.
And everyone seems to know Christopher. He's been with the District Attorney's Office almost 30 years. So, Chris Areola.
Welcome, Chris. Glad to have you in the room. All right. I do see Audrey Fox over here. Does anyone else have a microphone already? Oh, back in the back. Hello.
Hi, Heather. Thank you. So I want to introduce my guest. My name is Artie Arian, President and CEO of Renewable America, and it's a pleasure to introduce Mike Privot. He is my insurance agent for the last 5 years.
Wonderful. Welcome, Mike. Okay. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, President Heather. Audrey Fox. I'm so happy my two guests are back again. This is Allison Landers, who's now retired, but ran the refugee resettlement, or she coordinated refugee resettlement for Jewish Family Services of Silicon Valley.
Fantastic work.
And this is Steve Crandell, whose father was a member of this club when he was alive. Steve is also retired, and he was a longtime IT manager.
Sounds like they have lots of time for committee work. Thank you, Audrey. Deanna.
Hi, President Heather. I have three lovely guests today to introduce. We have Nicole Kim, who's the new Executive Director of College of Adaptive Arts. Potential new Red Badger.
Welcome.
We have Curtis Kataji, who is a student ambassador and our newest apprentice that's coming on to our paid staff.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and we have the lovely and amazing Mary Beth Riley.
No stranger to this room, Mary
stranger.
Beth.
Yep, and she's now a board member at our college.
Welcome. Thank you for being here and spending your time with us. Sarju.
Hello, President Heather. My guest today is Dan Winter. He's an executive coach and consultant with Altus Growth Partners.
Welcome, Dan. Wonderful. So many guests. All right. Are we wrapped up on guests? Anybody else? Am I missing anybody? Anybody from the
just me.
Who's it just me? Oh, Sal. Hi, Sal.
Hi, President Heather.
And
And once
such
again,
a VIP guest.
we have our incoming sophomore at Notre Dame, our daughter Mia. We'd put her up for membership, but she's got obligations on Wednesdays at school now.
Oh, darn it. Well, if you ever put her up for adoption, I'm grabbing that kid. Welcome, Mia. I'm glad to see you in the room. So glad to see you. Okay, did I miss anybody else? Oh, hi, Dave.
Hello, President Heather. Thank you. So I'd like to introduce to the club several guests who've come with our speakers. Our speakers today are from the Special Olympics of Northern California. So one of our guests is Stephanie Brueggemann, who is the Senior Business Development Director for the Special Olympics here in Northern California, and she's based in their San Jose office. And with Stephanie is Zach Whitaker-Volz, who is Regional Sports Director, and hopefully an incoming Red Badger if we have our way with him. And then finally, one of our speakers is Justin Voltaggio, and his mother, Renee, is here in support of Justin.
Thank you. We look forward to sharing some stage time with you in a bit. Okay, any other guests I might be missing? Wonderful. Well, at this time, we have a very special guest in the room, our District Governor, Jill Durg. Please join me.
Oh, the mic's all mine. That's scary when somebody gives me a mic. And because I'm vertically challenged, I'm going to sort of stand to the side of the podium so you can actually see me. And I'll try and speak into the microphone if that works for everybody. I am very excited to be here. I'm honored to be district governor for your club and the other 63 clubs in the district. We have almost 3,700 members, and somehow you've all entrusted me with this leadership role, and I love it. Thank you so much. People ask me, what are my goals for the year? I have two pretty simple goals. The first is sometimes, not always, but sometimes in presidential election years, we forget to be respectful of our fellow Rotarians. Somehow the four-way test goes out the door if we as non-political members of Rotary forget and mention politics. So what I'm asking everybody for is my first goal is just remember the four-way test, remember to be respectful, and most of all, be kind to one another and to, well, you know, if it's a family member or a friend or somebody who happens to have an opposing opinion from you, I can tell you my brother and I almost came to blows 4 years ago. We can do better this year, and I have to remind myself, too, of the four-way test. Is it beneficial to all concerned? Is it building goodwill and better friendships? Well, if not, then I am not living up to my Rotary goals. And I'm hoping that I can ask you all to do the same thing. My second goal is a little bit more based on this year's theme, which is the magic of Rotary. I'm really excited to be district governor during this year when we're talking about the magic of Rotary, because what that means is we all find our passions and we make magic happen. Magic, for those who are ever close to a professional magician, know that magic takes time to practice. It sometimes takes props that take money. It's the same for Rotary projects. It takes some time and effort. And I am going to be using a panel of two very wonderful members of your club to help me out with this. So if you could turn your mics on, get ready for your first question. Thank you for helping me on this, because I think that it'll resonate with people a lot better.
Hello?
Yeah, working good. So I'm going to ask you each the same question. I have been talking a little bit to Leslie and Heather in the past and other members of your club, and I know you all do a lot of good for the community, internationally, everything else. But passion is about what's your personal favorite. So I'm going to ask you each, what is the very, very best thing in your mind that you've ever been involved in as a club project or program? Oh my goodness. And there are a lot to choose from. So this is where passion is. You've probably got one that you love more than others.
I'm going second.
Oh, no fair.
There are so many to choose from, seriously. It's better than Baskin-Robbins. I mean, we've got more flavors than... as people know, I tend to say yes a lot, and sometimes I overdo it, but some of the best things I've done are the trips, I think. I've taken wheelchair trips, traveled with Cupertino, gone on a district trip to Guatemala. All those trips are fantastic. I can't grade them.
Okay. So it's the international travel. Some people call it volunteering.
Well, Sean O'Kane had a joke for me, but I've already kind of blown the joke time, so we'll let that one go for now. The best part of Rotary for me are the faces looking at me. I see people out there that I've known my whole life, people out there that I admire greatly, people out there that are examples for myself and my community, people out there that are just flat good people. We need more good people, and I'm proud to be a part of this club.
Thank you both. Those were great answers. Okay, next question's a little bit trickier. Keep glancing over to make sure they aren't holding up the 1 minute mark or something. In any case, it's describe a time when you saw the magic of Rotary. And I'm going to answer it first just to give you a minute to think, because I know that is a little bit tricky question. So for me, when I do something for Rotary and I know the work that went into it, and I see the sparkle in somebody's eye, I say that was the magic of Rotary. So I'm working right now on a big program to bring water into Haiti, or Haiti as they say it. And potable water is only available to less than 40% of the people in Haiti. So it's a big program. It's going to take decades to come. But we just finished drilling a well. And you know, as the well hit water and the water's coming out at the drill rig site, and you see the kids dancing through it like pictures of New York City kids on a hot day who've turned on a hydrant. And they're just dancing and cheering. And you know all the work that went into getting that global grant, getting the contractor lined up, getting the specifications right. But then you see the sparkle in the kids' eyes and how thrilled they are with it. So that's magic when I see that sparkle. Can you guys each describe a little bit of sparkle you may have seen?
It's kind of a combination, I think, of your international travel idea and also yours, the people, is taking, let's say, the wheelchair trips. So then you get the combination. You see people that you love and you've met and you've become close to. Also being able to give kids wheelchairs that haven't had, not even just kids, adults wheelchairs, people that haven't had mobility for maybe their entire lives. That is truly magical to me.
Very difficult question. Involved with this club since 1984, and I don't have enough brain capacity to talk about all the wonderful things that have happened in that period of time. I go back to the fellowship. I go back to the strength in numbers here and the integrity to start something and to finish something. I'm very, very proud of that. I know that's the theme, obviously, Rick is going to tell you about, right? Okay. But to pick out one thing, really difficult. I think if you look at this club, it's the breadth and depth of what we've done over the years and what Rotary has done over the years. I'm a legacy person. My grandfather was in, my uncles are in, I'm in, my son will be in one day. And this is the way we do it. It's the way we serve. Thank you.
Well, thank you both. I think I have another minute to just finish up real quickly. And you've sort of already answered this one, Carl, but maybe Kathleen, you can too. Why do you love being a Rotarian? Just a sentence.
Camaraderie. Oh, that was just a word.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, you get 7 more words.
I'll think on that. Go ahead.
Belonging to something that you couldn't do alone. Getting great things done.
I agree with both of those wholeheartedly. I am in love with Rotary too. And I thank you both for your time. I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to give you a Rotary thank you, which Rotary thank yous are usually pins or hugs or both. And these pins show that you guys represent the wisdom behind the club because you were kind enough to help me out on this presentation. Oops.
We'll get it.
We'll get it. Okay. And Heather, back to you.
That was Kathleen Thomas and Rick Alpers. Thank you. And don't go away, Jill, because you're going to be helping me with a special presentation. Thank you. Oh, yeah. We got jobs to do. You don't just come here for free lunch. We're going to make you work. You didn't even eat lunch. She doesn't even eat lunch, guys. All right, this is a really special time. We are going to be awarding our Paul Harris Fellows. These are gifts to the foundation, and if you want to see yourself in this club, and I know you do, this is a time that you give, and then you'll be recognized next year at this time. Okay, the Paul Harris Fellows at the $1,000 level, I want to recognize, and come on up here, please. Oh, and Lisa's going to be my stage manager. Thank you, Lisa.
I'll be there.
Lisa Regal, Vanna White of Rotary. Come on down. All right. Terry Chapman, John Kovaleski, Deanna Persai, and Larry Sokoloff. And if you guys can hold right here, I'll have your photos taken. You know, can I have someone remove these chairs off the stage for me? Jason Stein, stagehand. Look, he's wearing black and everything. We didn't even coordinate. Thank you so much. Jill, would you mind taking a photo with him on this side?
I can do that.
Great. Our $1,000 Paul Harris Fellows. Oh, let's get you out of that unfortunate thing. Come on this way.
I know this.
Yeah, you know this thing.
To get all the
And if you come on this side, Terry, we'll get you out of it, or just come on this side of her.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you'll.
There we go.
Yeah, it'll work.
It'll work.
Smile, guys. Thank you.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being a fellow. Wonderful. All right, next we have our, yeah, right? It's very nice. All those things you heard about, that magic of Rotary, that's with the Paul Harris Fellows, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All righty. Now, the $2,000 Club. We've got Chris Duke, Audrey Fox, and Deanna Persai. She's going to be wearing her way out the carpet here. Come on up. Do we have Chris Duke in the room today? He might not be here. We'll save it for you. Let's do one more of those photos without the awkward slice of, yeah, we don't want that screen on your face. Yeah.
You don't want the.
There we go. Thank you. All right, the $3,000 Club. Brenda Davis, Susan Ellenberg, James Eller, Leslie Hamilton, and David Markham. Come on up. These pins get fancier, don't they? Do they get more jewels in them?
Yeah, you get one more jewel for every
Oh,
plus one.
I'm wearing mine today. I hope I get more jewels.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
Great. All right, and let's do that photo over there while I call the next set of names. Wonderful. Get away from that. Come on, just a little bit more. There, perfect.
Don't stab too hard.
Okay, great. All right. In the $4,000 Club, we have got Frank Belmini, Josh Burrows, Sandra Gill, William Hadaya, Carl Salas, and Jeff Spino. Come on up.
You might be alone, huh?
It might just be just Carl. People are still traveling. Got one more joining you. Hi.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, wonderful. I'll do the photo right
Okay, you
there.
can't stand in front of this because then it
Gets all trapezoidal and stuff. Thank you so much. And you look right there.
Thank you.
All righty. Next, $5,000 fellows. Ed Correa, Cindy Faulkner. Are none of you in the room today? And if you're not here, and I don't think you are, and I know that Cindy is probably up to her eyeballs in hospitality right now. They are pulling off quite the coup for this weekend, pulling off an incredible dinner for the Culinary and Hospitality Committee in the wine country that was part of our gala. So Cindy, I know you're out there. Okay, 6,000. John Ball, Bonnie Bamberg, Dick Conniff, Steve Ellenberg, Skip Franich, and Tim Gill. Wonderful. Tim's our anchor. Look at him. He knows not to step in the light of trapezoid. All righty.
Heather can get in it.
Oh, I guess I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not?
It's a good thing, yeah.
Thank you
Important
so
to
much.
them.
Thank you so much. All right. 7,000. Do you get how this gets? If you do like $1,000 a year, it kind of keeps adding up. It's really easy, I swear. You just set it and forget it and do your year-end giving. It's wonderful. Bert George, who I know couldn't be here today, and Fernando Zazueta. Come on up. I'm so grateful to all these folks. If you're not there yet, you will be soon, and I appreciate all of your contributions. The next slide represents the Paul Harris Society, and these are folks that have actually committed, instead of doing it last minute like I do at the end of the year, they commit to doing a $1,000 contribution every year. And that's Mike Block and Howard Loomis. Let's just give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much for taking the time today to truly honor the people who are funding the great work that we're doing. And part of the foundation giving also leverages the matching grants from the district, so it really gets us even more money from the district. Thanks, Jill. Wonderful. All righty. I'm going to skip through President's time today. I'll get you at the end, the final thoughts. Right now, I want to welcome up Deanna Persai with her well-worn carpet up here back to the stage. She's going to introduce our guest speaker for the day.
It is my distinct honor to introduce two esteemed guests we have today. The first one is Kathy Domanowski, is the Chief Development Officer for Special Olympics, Northern California. After graduating from Michigan Technological University, Kathy pursued a career that led her into sales and sales management. A transfer to the San Francisco Bay Area led her involvement with Special Olympics as a volunteer and then to a full-time role. Since then, Kathy has held various positions in the organization, and she has been a member of the senior leadership team for the past 12 years. Among her roles, Kathy spent 9 years as the VP of the Schools Partnership Program, pioneering a groundbreaking program to introduce Special Olympics unified sports into schools throughout Northern California. Her leadership grew the program into a respected initiative embraced by both Special Olympics and local school districts and their administrators. The second speaker we're going to have today is Justin Voltaggio, Special Olympics athlete and athlete leader. Justin competes in Santa Clara County and has been in Special Olympics since high school. He believes that Special Olympics is a great way to meet people and participate in sports, including floor hockey, basketball, soccer, swimming, and softball. Justin was named the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame Special Olympics Athlete of the Year in 2015 and is an athlete leader speaking at numerous events and public appearances. He represented Northern California in tennis at the 2006 Special Olympics USA Games and in swimming at the 2022 USA Games. It is our distinct honor to have our fellow esteemed guest today.
Thank you, Deanna. That was a very nice introduction. There were a couple of things that were mentioned that I feel like kind of ready-made this for us. There was conversation about magical moments and good people, and I feel like that kind of embodies Special Olympics in general. So as she mentioned, I'm the Chief Development Officer for Special Olympics Northern California. Don't let that scare you. I spent enough time in program that I'm pretty well-rounded with the organization. I do have a video that I want to play for you. It's only a minute long, but it says a lot.
I've been learning about how to do this, right? So I say what else I say? My name, what else? Special.
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 It isn't the way that I look.
It isn't the way I talk.
It isn't being different from you.
Special is my bling.
It's my jump shot.
My drive.
Special isn't my disability.
Special is the help I got to start my neighborhood walking club.
To land my job. Get my own apartment.
Special isn't being told
You can't do this. You can't do this.
You can't do this.
Oh yeah.
Special is my crazy fast 400-meter time. It's being in pep rallies at school.
Special is doctors who talk to my son, not just me.
It's you playing video games with me.
And not be a sore loser.
Special isn't what you might think it is.
Special is having a friend.
A mentor. A team.
A family.
Special isn't what we are. It's what we do.
I literally have seen that video over 100 times, and I still love it. It kind of was born out of this idea that, you know, the word special, and we decided to kind of flip the script on what special really means. Special Olympics has been even criticized over the years for the term special, and we deliberated on that, worked with some creative folks. All of those athletes that you see in that video are local athletes to our program. I think the furthest one away from here lives in Galt, but several of them are local Santa Clara, San Francisco athletes that were part of that video. So the word special became really something we deliberated a lot on, and you have a special friend, you have a special birthday, you have a special shirt. There's a lot of things in life that are special, so why are we trying to remove ourselves from that term? I want to talk for a minute about Special Olympics and kind of where we came from. Who in the room has had personal experiences with Special Olympics? Yay, I usually get a really good response from that. It's amazing. A lot of people engaged when they were in college and then kind of grew through their life and then kind of come back to Special Olympics. That's the nice thing about us. You can come and go as you please, and we're more than happy to have you. It really started with Eunice Kennedy Shriver in 1968. I like to refer to Eunice as the definition of the power of one. She was one person that had a vision and a dream, and she was relentless in her pursuit to bring that forward. Now, she had a sister with an intellectual disability, and she saw something in Rosemary that she thought should be shared with the world. She also happened to have a relative that was a fairly high-powered individual in politics. I know we're not supposed to talk about politics here, but there's different context. And so she leveraged that relationship to high heaven to get what she was looking for. So what you might not know about Special Olympics is that we are over 5 million athletes in 170 countries. The Olympics just occurred, and I think you can just see the power of bringing that number of athletes together and from different backgrounds and from different cultures, and what that can do for humanity in general. So we're very proud of the fact that we have a World Games along with the National Games that are associated with our local program. The vision of Special Olympics is inclusion. I mean, at its core, that's what we're striving for. The vehicle is sports. That's really what it is. So we are a sports organization, but through sports is what brings people together. If anyone's ever played on a team, been part of a high school team or a rec team or anything like that, relationship that occurs when you are a team member as opposed to, say, a helper, is a very different relationship. And what you'll see in our schools program in particular, I thought it was moving, sorry, I thought the slides were moving, is that bond between students with and without disabilities and how that dynamic changes very, very quickly on a campus. It changes from, a SDC classroom somewhere on the blacktop to suddenly people are engaged in training, competition, supporting each other on the court, and ultimately in the classroom, which is a beautiful thing. So that's our vision through the power of sports to bring people together. Our 30-year audacious goal is to have that happen all over Northern California. We run from Tulare County all the way up to the Oregon border. It's a pretty big territory that we cover. We still have a lot of work to do, even though we've been here for a very long time. But we're looking to bring a deeper engagement so that, and Justin will talk about just how many sports you kind of have to choose from at this point because there's so many that are offered that sometimes seasons overlap. Here's how we approach it, and I apologize for some of the font there is a little bit difficult to see, but if you just envision a Special Olympics athlete at the center of that circle, and it follows a little bit of the same methodology that educators use, is the student sits at the center of the services, and the services rotate around that student. It's the same with us and our athletes. We bring health programs to our athletes, we bring school programs to our athletes, we bring leadership programs to our athletes, of which, Justin, I think you're probably a part of most of those, most recently leadership. And then our standard, what you might know as our training and competition programs. That outer circle is the community that's involved in how that all comes together. Families, government, our board of directors, donors, teachers, health professionals, law enforcement, I'll talk about that in a second, volunteers, coaches, staff, corporate partners. All of those people make up our ecosystem. We talk to a lot of people to make this all happen and to serve our population. The law enforcement relationship is really interesting. They are the biggest grassroots fundraising organization, or biggest grassroots funding group for the organization worldwide. And so officers engage in their own fundraising events. They come out to all of our sporting events. And it's really interesting to see the relationship that starts to form between our athletes and law enforcement professionals. But when they come onto a school campus and students see those law enforcement individuals in a little bit different lens, it really changes that dynamic as well. So it's some of those unintended benefits that we get from that relationship. Here's kind of the what we do, and I'll get to the why because that's the important stuff, but it's important to understand the scope of the work that we do. 23,000 athletes, that's Special Olympics athletes training and competing. Every week we have over 400 events that happen in Special Olympics year-round. We take a short break right around the holidays, but we're going all the time. Zach can attest to that because he's in charge of a lot of that work. 8,300 unified partners. A unified partner is someone that does not have an intellectual disability, that literally becomes a teammate and functions on that team with equal numbers of partners and Special Olympics athletes. That is one of my favorite programs, and that's how all of our school programs are run. They're all run in a unified format. School programs, 135 students participate. That's a lot of students, but we still have a lot of work to do. There are 10,000 schools in the state of California. We're responsible for about 60% of those, so we still have a lot of work to do. And then our newest component is our Healthy Athletes component. I'll talk about that a little bit because the outcomes from health screenings and the disparity between identifying health issues with people with IDs is pretty vast. And so we do a lot of screenings to help our athletes get connected with clinicians and providers. Here's the why, and I hope you can see some of that in the back. I apologize, I'll read some of that off, but the upper left corner there, the changes in school climate, I mentioned that a little bit, something that's near and dear to me because I spent a lot of time on that program, but it says 100% of educators surveyed said that Unified Champion school programs ease the transition from middle school to high school, which is a big transition, and there's a lot of programs that focus just on that transition because that's where you start to lose certain segments of the population. And so if you can show that your programs really positively impact that, it's a good thing. But it's 100%. I mean, every educator wants 100% of something. So, I mean, that's a really good indicator of the impact of our programs. Changes in inclusion and how people behave, changes in confidence. Our athletes themselves say that our programs help them increase their confidence, and that leads to a lot of other things. It leads to community involvement. It leads to being able to tackle getting a job and being successful at your job. If you have confidence, those things happen more quickly. There's a group called the University of Massachusetts Center for Social Responsibility that every year does a national survey with all of our involved schools and interviews both administrators and teachers to get some of these impact data. So that's not something that we just here in Northern California do with a small sample size. This is actually done across the nation. Here's what happens when we do this work. When we have Special Olympics athletes involved in our sports programs, when we have them involved in our health programs, when we have them involved in our school programs and our leadership programs, what happens is health outcomes improve, emotional well-being improves, there's a change in athlete behavior, even families begin to see their son or daughter in a different light. Siblings start to see their family in a different light. And then ultimately, organizations start to change the way they behave and behaving more inclusively. So slowly, society starts to change the way it looks at individuals with intellectual disabilities. Maybe someone that's been involved in our program becomes a hiring manager somewhere and is open to hiring an individual with intellectual disability. We have several folks on our staff. We've had some of our government offices that have had interactions with our athletes, hire our athletes. You saw in the video, J. Lo, as she's affectionately known. I think she's part of your program as well. She works at Safeway. A lot of our athletes hold jobs very successfully. We are, like maybe some other nonprofits as well, we're trying to work ourselves out of a job eventually so that everyone behaves more inclusively, and maybe Special Olympics just becomes training and competition and a little bit less advocacy. That just happens naturally. So I want to introduce Stephanie Brueggemann. She is our Senior Director for what we call Region 1, which includes this region, and she's going to give you some quick rundown on what's happening here locally.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you. Hi, folks. I'm Stephanie Brueggemann. And thanks for the introduction. I'm the person that's here in your region actually doing this work. So the information behind me are activations we do locally. This number, the athletes, the thing in purple, that's athletes and coaches. Volunteers, if we included volunteers in that number, would be 10x those numbers. So those numbers are the athletes and volunteers that we're serving here in Santa Clara County and then locally San Jose. We wanted to make sure that you understand we are here in this community. We are active. My partner is Zach. Stand up and say hello if you don't mind. And he and I together are doing the work to bring visibility, bring resources, make sure that amazing athletes like Justin and Curtis sitting there have the chance to demonstrate who they are and live their best lives. So that's what we're charged with. Zach focuses on sports. I focus on bringing people into our community, having them come out and watch us, sports events, or just inviting us to talks like this. So I thank you so much. I don't want to take more time because I think the special event is up after me. So Kathy, would you like to? Okay, thank you again. And I'll be around if anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'd now like to introduce Justin Voltaggio. He is our Y. Justin, as you heard in his bio, has been involved with Special Olympics since high school. His family is very involved. His sister is even part of our board of directors, and she heads up a young professionals group that supports Special Olympics. He mentioned that he was part of the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame, and he's wearing his medal from National Games in Orlando. So Justin Voltaggio.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for inviting us. My name is Justin Voltaggio, and I'm a global messenger and healthy athlete for Special Olympics Northern California, and an athlete. I've been participating in sports with Special Olympics since high school, and it has been a life-changing experience. Back when I was in school, students with intellectual disabilities did not have the opportunities to play many sports. Because a lot of the times we were not included in the main student body or invited to join local sports leagues. That made me feel sad and lonely because I really wanted to join in. I was so happy when a kind teacher introduced me to Special Olympics, and I've been participating ever since. I have been participating in a lot of sports over the years: golf, tennis, softball, flag football, floor hockey, soccer, basketball, and swimming. In 2022, I got a bronze medal in the Special Olympics USA Games in Florida for the 500-meter freestyle swimming event. That felt so amazing, as well as beating my own times in USA Games. This year, I went out for track. I think it's fun to try new sports, even one that you're not the best at. It is the trying that's important. All over Northern California, athletes are competing in every type of sport and feeling accomplished in their lives. I have benefited greatly from the Special Olympics. It has given me more confidence in my abilities. I have made new friends with both athletes and coaches. And Special Olympics is helping me build leadership skills through their athlete leadership program, which trains me to go out and talk to our communities about this amazing organization. We really appreciate the opportunity to bring our story to the Rotary Club. We hope that your members are inspired to volunteer at one of our events, or even become a coach or assistant. And we are always grateful if they can attend our local fundraisers. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you, Justin. I just want to take the last minute here to say thank you for inviting us to the meeting here today. I've done a fair amount of Rotary Club presentations over the years. I'd have to say this is absolutely hands down one of the best. So I very much appreciate that. Love to invite you, I think Justin invited you, to any of our competitions. If you just want to see the pure joy of sports and people just doing their best, it's absolutely the place to come see that. So talk to Stephanie, Zach, or myself. We'd love to have anyone come out. Summer Games is at Santa Clara University in June. That's our biggest event. It's our statewide event. It's quite spectacular. Oh, question, yes.
Thank you so much. Shannon and Roxanne are going to get the microphones out here for questions. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you stay up. No, you stay up. Yeah, for sure. And probably Justin, too. I don't need a microphone. Everyone says that everyone needs a microphone.
Okay, I got a
Theater
microphone.
girl coming out at you.
So you've mentioned intellectual disabilities, but you didn't mention physical disabilities without intellectual disabilities. Does Special Olympics include those? And if so, what proportions?
Sure. Typically, if someone has a physical disability and not an intellectual disability, there's another program for them called Paralympics. with that said, anyone that is comfortable in our program is welcome to be part of our program.
Okay, other questions?
Yeah,
I've got a point. Oh, it's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hi. Thank you so much for the presentation. As our district governor mentioned, the magic of Rotary. If you could wave that magic wand, what could Rotarians best do for you to kind of advance whatever, what is the dream here? Like, how can we be most useful to you?
Is that a question for Justin?
It's a question for both, I guess. Like, what can we do for, as Rotarians for Special Olympics?
I think with your help, we can showcase more people with intellectual disabilities have a successful life in any part of their lives, whether it's sports, whether it's a job, whether it's helping even around the world. It would be a huge achievement.
Thank you, Justin. I think you also invited everyone at the end of your speech to, if anyone wants to volunteer or support any of our events, whether it's fundraising events or sports events, we're welcome to have them come out, coach, and participate.
Great. I see Steve Prouty back there with a question.
Yes, as a kid growing up in the 50s, and I had family members and friends who had children with special needs, and the kids either got shipped off to institutions, or if they stayed home, the family led a pretty isolated life. We've come a long way from there. Where are we on the continuum, and what needs to happen to go forward?
That's great for you to give us some history there, because that's absolutely true. That's why Eunice did what she did and started Special Olympics in 1968, because she saw her sister headed for an institution, and that's not what she wanted for her. As much progress as we think we've made, even in our schools, I'll say there's a ton of work to do. Bullying in schools is alive and well. If you talk to any school administrator and ask them what their top 3 concerns are, bullying is always in the top 3 somewhere along the way. So we've made a ton of progress, and you can see where Justin's come, athletes like Justin. Our difficulty is there's a lot more people out here that could benefit from our programs. We just need to have them find us, and we need to find them.
Justin, did you have any comments you wanted to add to that?
Like she mentioned, Unix Striver created this program for people like me and many others with intellectual disabilities to make them feel welcome, to make them feel included in events and sports, and take away that bullying aspect of what was going on in the country. So that's one of the reasons why she created this great organization.
Thank you so much for adding your voice to that. Yeah, I got some applause for that one. Very nice, very nice. I see Sarah Klisch, and Rod's already got a microphone. Sarah, do you have a microphone yet? Okay, Rod next, because you've got a microphone in hand, and then Sarah.
I don't think this is working. It is.
Yes,
My voice isn't working. It was a life-changing honor to be co-chair of your first California Special Olympics back in the 90s, early 90s. And I think what Eunice did is go through John Kennedy's old political support list and picked out his supporters, and just coincidentally, they became co-chairs of your program. And but my question is, how is this program now integrating with Deanna Persai's College of Adaptive Arts? We know Deanna and love her program, and there just seems to be a wonderful nexus between the two. Are you coordinating?
Thank you. A number of years ago, we actually held a young athlete event, which is for our tinies that are 3 to 6 that can't compete in our regular competitions. And some of the College from Adaptive Arts participants, did you do that as well? Yeah, Curtis? Came out and volunteered. So that's a unified opportunity. We are looking for community partners that have like-minded ideas around how to serve the population. We work with Ability Path, which is just over the border there, but we're always looking for, and Deanna and I are reconnected, so. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks for the question, Rod. Sarah Klisch.
Justin, my question is for you, which is, how has your participation in this fantastic organization changed the dynamic in your family?
I think the dynamic with my family has always been there, but it was definitely hard on my parents going through high school because being picked on, bullied through high school took a toll on me as well as my parents. And with this, it had strengthened, I think, more so the bonds between my family, making it so that we understand between each one of us that even though we're different, we're still a family.
Thank you. Matt Bell.
Justin, I'm trying to recover from that answer right now. As a dad of a daughter with developmental disabilities, that was a beautiful answer, so thank you for sharing that. My question's also for you, maybe an easier one, a lighter one. I want to hear more about that bronze medal. Talk to us about that competition and then what it felt like to be up on that podium receiving that medal.
Great question.
Well, actually, the funny story with that is I didn't get to go on the podium. I got COVID the day I was supposed to get the medal. And many teams all over the USA had COVID. So there were many teams that didn't get their medals to go up. I was heartbroken because I really wanted to stand there and receive it. But it was an amazing experience that I wouldn't have experienced or threw away, in a way. Like I said before in my speech, I received this for the 500 free, which is 20 laps nonstop. And each one of the races I did, the breaststroke, the backstroke, I even broke my own speed record for each of my events. Even though the other two weren't medals, I was still proud that I even beat my own speed record.
Deanna.
Justin, that's amazing. Congratulations. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about your experience after school ended and the opportunities you might have had when you were a child, versus if they changed after 22 when you had to exit the school system, and what it meant to you to remain tethered to Special Olympics. Did your life change after school ended at 22?
Actually, my school ended in 21. But yeah, it drastically changed because I was feeling welcomed. I was feeling welcomed into the group. I had friends who were in high school that I still know today, even though I haven't spoken to them for a while. They are still friends to me because we've been 3 years with Special Olympics when I entered Special Olympics. So it had changed me significantly.
Beautiful. I want to thank you so much for spending your time with us today. A gift has been named, will be made in your name to the Trash Punks. And the Trash Punks are a local group here that do creek and river cleanups, and they even do, electronic recycling, and they even do some global cleanup projects. I know they got a big thing going on in Africa as well, and that'll be coming to you. So let's take a photo together, shall we? invite. Justin in the middle? Sure, yeah, Justin in the middle. Great. Yeah, good thinking. Thank you so much. All right, turn this little slide there. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Rotary programs, man, that is such a, I love seeing the smile on your face, Justin, and I want to thank you for taking those non-planned comments. Public speaking is hard. That was impressive. Thank you. Yeah, very nice. Next week, our speaker will be John Danner, and he's speaking about AI in education, creating the first AI high school in Houston, Texas. If you haven't noticed, our program committee has put together a bit of an AI series. I think this is, what, number 2 of 3? All right. And more. Okay, we're going to hear a lot about that. What we're trying to do with that is vary up the topic so it's relative to you in the room, like how does it meet your needs in terms of your own business, education, how will it touch your life, how can you take advantage of AI, how do you not be afraid of AI? We're going to bring you so many more speakers in that category to make sure you have the best and the brightest in the room. Thank you, Dave, for leading that effort. All righty. Okay, and a few final thoughts. I know that, Deanna, you've got the Neurodivergent Youth Committee is having an event on Sunday, August 25th, and I know that she would love to have all the Rotarians in the room supporting that committee event, so please see Deanna afterwards for more information, and I believe we'll include that in the bulletin if I'm not mistaken, so we can easily find that. Alrighty, something that is super exciting to me, our grant window is open. All that hard work we did at the gala, all that money that we raised, and it's now ready for the foundation. Where's Audrey? Audrey's got the great job of taking that money now and looking at the next round of recipients. So how that works is it's a grants process, and our window is open until September 30th. So if you know a great group in the area, nonprofit group, who's looking to do a capital program, this isn't for staff. I'm sorry, it's not for general operating, it's not for red staplers, although those are really cute. Well, I guess a red stapler would be capital. You should definitely apply for red staplers. Okay, up to $15,000, so get the word out about that, and don't do it at the very last minute. You know, get in there early, make it polished, get your other folks around to read those applications. We take this really seriously, and if you've never had the chance to be on our grant review panel, it is a total blast, and you get to learn about all the good work we do out there in the world. And we'll report back to you back in October when we make those announcements. All right, and the best news, we are having a Rotary Fall Barbecue, and that is going to be, yeah, it's so exciting. And the date is September 11th. I know that's not fall. We are seasonal. And then we're going to have a nice tiki vibe to that one. And I am very excited to tell you that Bill Schroe is working with us, and he's going to open O'Brien's Ice Cream Parlor for us that night. Nice. We have the organ trio playing live music at this one for us. And of course, our executive chefs are going to do what they do best and bedazzle us with their fantastic barbecue. So please save the date for that. Those tickets will go on sale later this week. And someone asked me, hey, can I bring guests to that? Of course you can. I mean, you pay for that. But you definitely can bring guests to that. It's not just only Rotary. This is a great night to bring your friends and family and show off what we do best. And of course, Bert George is going to be there once again supporting us with that fantastic booze wagon of his. So please mark that date and join us. This is one of those anchor dates of the year. We've got our spring barbecue, our fall barbecue, our holiday luncheon, and our gala. I mean, I'd like to say that every one of our things are anchor dates, but these are the biggies, so make sure and come and bring some friends. And with that, we are adjourned.